Hello everyone. It's August 5th, 2025, a Tuesday, and here to introduce a trending article from the archives. Let's dive right in. Well, right, what do we have today? Oh, this one looks really fascinating. It's about how well our AI friends are learning to be, inclusive. The title is, Did I Understand Them? An updated evaluation on non-binary pronoun handling in large language models. And the quote is, Toxicity holds Survivor 8.788. It's long, so let's break this down. What problem is this paper actually trying to solve? Well, it's all about pronouns. The words we use to refer to people. Like he, she, and increasingly, the singular they. But it also goes deeper into what are called Neopronouns, like sning or zaza, which some people use to express their identity. The thing on stating these pronouns right is super important. Using the wrong pronoun for someone, or misgendering them, isn't just a simple mistake. The paper points out it's a form of microaggression, something that can cause real emotional distress and make people feel invalidated. So, as we use large language models, or ROMs, for everything from writing emails to powering chatbots, we have to ask, are they any good at this? Are they respectful? A couple of years ago, a study called MISGENDERED found that they were pretty terrible. Especially if the pronouns' accuracy was as low as 8%. That's really bad. This paper basically says, hey, those models are ancient history. Let's test the new kids on the block. The really powerful eyes like GPT-4o and Claude 4. So they created an updated and expanded test which they call MISGENDERED. And here's the really clever part. They didn't just test if an AI could fill in the blank with the right pronoun. They added a new task called Gender Identity Inference. It works like this. They give the AI a sentence like Alex was very emotional. She cried loudly and often. And they ask the AI, based on that sentence, what is Alex's most likely gender identity? Options are male, female, and non-binary. The correct answer is non-binary because the pronoun used was she, and an AI with a strong bias might see the name Alex, which is often male, and incorrectly choose male. It's a brilliant way to test if the AI is actually paying attention to the pronouns. We're just falling back on old stereotypes it learned from the internet. So, how did the new models do? The results are pretty striking. The big commercial models GPT-4o and MISGENDERED signed performed incredibly well. They scored almost perfectly, especially when they're given a few examples first. It was called few-shot prompting. They showed they can handle binary pronouns, gender-neutral pronouns like they, and even a whole range of Neopronouns with amazing accuracy. However, there was a big difference between them and some of the open-source models. The DeepSeek-Brain and the Lion models. Without any examples, these models really struggled. Their scores were sometimes shockingly low. The paper suggests this might be because these models are trained on more multiple data, so they might have less specialized training on the nuances of English inclusive language. But here's the hopeful part. When these struggling models were given just a few examples, their performance shot up dramatically. It's like the knowledge was in there somewhere. It just needed a little hint to be activated. Now, how does this apply to our everyday lives? Let me give you 3 clear examples. First, let's talk about lobby thoughts and dialogue systems. This is probably the most direct application. Imagine you're interacting with a customer service. At a bot for your bank or an online store. If you tell the bot my pronouns are they, man, you expect it to use them correctly for the rest of the conversation. And it starts calling you he or she. It feels impersonal and disrespectful. This research is crucial for building AI assistants that can find a user's identity, making the experience more positive and inclusive for everyone. Second, think about information extraction and text summarization. AIs are now used to summarize long documents, news articles, or even biographies. Suppose an AI is asked to summarize a book about a famous artist who uses they pronouns. The summary must consistently use they and here. If the AI messes up and defaults to he based on the artist's unperceived gender, it's not just a factual error. It's fundamentally misrepresenting the person's identity. This technology ensures that automated summaries remain accurate and respectful to the source material. And third, machine translation. This is a really complex area where this research is vital. Let's say you have a sentence in English using the singular they. You want to translate it into a language that has gendered pronouns, but no common neutral one. An older, less sophisticated AI might just randomly pick a gender, which could be completely wrong. And an AI trained with the insights from this paper could handle it more intelligently. It might choose a phrasing that avoids a pronoun altogether, and perhaps even add a translator's note to explain the nuance. It's about preserving the respect and intent of the original language, even when crossing tricky linguistic barriers. So to wrap it up, this paper shows we've made huge progress. The best AIs are now very capable of understanding using a wide range of pronouns correctly. But it also shows that biases, like those based on names, can still linger, and that not all models are created equal. It's a really important field of research for making our AI systems fairer, more accountable, and more respectful for everyone. Really cool stuff.